Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into something that I think we all wrestle with: self-discipline. We're going to look at Steve Pavlina's approach for building it, not as some temporary fix, but as something deep inside you, a real, unbreakable internal strength.
So let's just start with a situation we all know. You set a goal, you're pumped, you are ready for a change, and then a few weeks later, poof, you're right back where you started. So what's going on there? Why does that happen over and over again?
Well, the thinking here is that the culprit is usually the same thing. We're leaning on what you could call external crutches, right? Accountability buddies, those shiny new productivity apps, even our bosses. And sure, they might work for a little while, but here's the problem. They're temporary. And the moment those crutches get kicked out from under us, our discipline just collapses. And this leads us straight into what the source material calls the accountability trap. See, the more we outsource our motivation to other people or other things, the weaker our own internal willpower actually becomes.
And I love how Pavlina puts it here. The goal isn't just about not letting other people down. The real goal, the thing that builds lasting discipline, is getting strong enough to not let yourself down.
Okay, so how do we actually make that huge shift from relying on the outside to relying on the inside? Well, it all kicks off with a really powerful change in how you see things. And here it is, the core idea: self-accountability. So instead of answering to an app or to a friend, you start answering to the person you're trying to become. Every single choice you make today is a promise you're either keeping or breaking with your own future self. And when you really think about it, this inner accountability buddy is just better. It's with you 24/7 for life. No app can do that. It knows your deepest values perfectly. And as you see here, when all those external systems fail, this internal commitment, it stays strong. It's the one system that you can truly count on. So this all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually build that internal strength? I mean, it's not just about wishing for it. Luckily, Pavlina lays out a really clear, structured way to do it, based on 5 key pillars. And he gives us a memorable acronym to help us out: AWHIP. And let's be super clear, this isn't about punishing yourself. It's a powerful framework for building yourself up from the ground floor. So these letters stand for 5 pillars that all build on top of each other: exception, willpower, hard work, industry, and persistence. Let's break down how they all fit together, starting with that very first crucial step. The first pillar is acceptance. I mean, think about it. You can't build strength until you're honest about how much you can lift right now. It's about looking in the mirror and acknowledging your true starting point, without any judgment. Next up, we've got willpower. This is like the ignition switch on a car, or maybe a rocket booster. It's this huge but temporary burst of energy that's absolutely essential for getting you off the ground and overcoming that initial resistance. Third is hard work. Now, this isn't about just being busy. It's about intentionally taking on challenges that actually stretch you. This is where the real growth happens, when you push just beyond your comfort zone. Okay, so if hard work is all about intensity, industry is all about consistency. It's the simple discipline of showing up and putting in the hours day after day on the exciting stuff and the boring stuff. One builds your capacity, the other builds your momentum. And the final pillar, the one that really holds it all together, is persistence. This is what you lean on when your willpower is long gone and you just plain don't feel like it. It's the engine that turns all the other pillars into real, tangible, long-term results. So that's a lot, right? The 5 pillars. I mean, where do you even start building that kind of muscle without getting totally overwhelmed? Well, you don't try to change your entire life overnight. You start with something really simple, really powerful, and really low risk: a 30-day trial. The genius of this is that you only commit to one new habit every day for just 30 days. By framing it like a short-term experiment, it feels so much more manageable and way less scary than thinking about some permanent, life-changing thing. And listen, this isn't just a theory. Pavlina actually used this exact method himself. He started with a 30-day trial of being a vegetarian, and when it was over, he just kept going. Then he did another 30-day trial to become vegan, then another to exercise every day. Each successful trial built up his discipline and his confidence for the next, even bigger challenge. It all started with just 30 days. But there's one last, absolutely critical piece to this puzzle. To make discipline truly unbreakable, It can't just be about gritting your teeth and forcing it. It has to be fueled by something way deeper. This quote, man, it just gets right to the heart of it. The ultimate, most sustainable fuel for self-discipline isn't willpower, it's purpose. When what you're doing is connected to a deep sense of purpose, everything changes. Like it says here, what used to feel like a struggle suddenly feels like a passion. The work doesn't get easier, but your reason for doing it gets so much stronger. Taking action stops being a choice. It just feels like something you have to do. So we'll leave you with this. Real, unbreakable self-discipline isn't about forcing yourself to do things you hate. It's about finding a purpose so compelling that it just pulls you forward. It's about becoming accountable to the absolute best version of yourself. So the only real question left is the one on the screen. What challenge will you accept when you stop waiting for someone else's permission?